on 12 News, a Crystal Soldiers emotional reunion.
I think this is probably the best therapy that any money could buy right now.
Plus, getting ready for a big night of music in Plymouth. But first, one mom and dad's special thank you to a Crystal police officer. 12 News starts right now.
Hello and thanks for joining us. A Crystal police officer is being called a hero for saving a 2-week-old baby.
The officer and parents say this is an incident they will never forget. Here is reporter Sonia Goins.
Eleanor Davis is now 7 weeks old. The little cutie loves smiling. And of course, she's the apple of her parents' eyes.
Who's that? Do you know him? Is that Daddy?
Moments like these are special for parents Beverly and John Davis. On April 24th, they almost lost baby Eleanor.
You see Daddy now, you're all smiling.
Beverly's sister was giving the baby medicine when something went wrong.
And then the medication went down her throat, and then she started to choke.
Little Eleanor was not breathing and started to turn blue.
We look at her, my sister tried to revive her, do some CPR, but then she wasn't coming through. So
Beverly made a frantic phone call to 911.
I need help. Okay, and she's choking on medication?
Yeah, she's choking on medication.
Officer Gabe Storrs was dispatched to the scene.
I don't think I've ever driven to a call that fast in my life.
When Officer Storrs arrived, he says family members appeared to be in shock.
I don't even know what to do. I was so confused. I was so scared.
And when I got there, the child was unconscious and not breathing.
Officer Storrs says it's not often he has to work on babies as young as Eleanor, but he says his training kicked in and he started doing CPR.
After a while, I stopped and flipped her over and saw her eyes opened, but I wasn't getting any indication that she was breathing yet.
So he tried it again, and it worked.
I held her face up to my face, and I felt a little puff on my cheek.
A big relief for mom and dad, who lost another child last June.
So we had just lost one of our daughter in Boston, my 6-year-old, in a car accident.
The city of Crystal recently recognized Officer Storrs for his actions.
You've already applauded. I was going to tell you that to please help me congratulate Officer Storrs for his heroic actions, and obviously the mom and baby for being here tonight.
Officer Storrs doesn't have children himself, but he feels like he does now.
You don't realize how some of these calls take their toll on you.
I'm grateful to God that she really came true.
In Crystal, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Well, baby Eleanor was taken to the hospital and checked out just fine. As for Officer Storrs, he says this was one of those calls where he had to take a moment and be by himself afterwards.
When it comes to housing in cities such as New Hope, it is not difficult to find smaller homes built in the 1950s that are now showing their age. Take, for example, this home on Yukon Avenue. It's 600 square feet, which, of course, by today's standards, is much smaller than most single-family homes. The city is purchasing properties like this one and selling the land to builders so that a new home like this one can be built in its place. Over the last couple of years, New Hope has purchased 7 different properties to help improve its housing stock.
It revitalizes neighborhoods. It helps blocks that might be struggling with a few problem properties to tell people that it's okay to invest in your home now. That's one of the spin-off effects, and then certainly increasing the tax base.
There are around 5,000 single-family homes in the city of New Hope.
Manufacturing is expanding in the northwest corner of Brooklyn Park. A developer is proposing a 3rd building at a business park under construction just east of Highway 169 and north of Highway 610. It will be the future home for Knott Company, which makes custom rubber parts. The company is based in Arden Hills. The future Brooklyn Park facility will employ about 30 people.
Golfers will be excited about this news. A golf superstore is opening in the Northwest Metro. The PGA Tour Superstore opened Saturday just north of I-394. That's across from the Ridgedale Shopping Center. It replaces a Sports Authority store, and this is the first Twin Cities store for the Atlanta-based chain, which is owned by Arthur Blank, the owner of the Atlanta Falcons. The PGA Tour Superstore will feature feature a dozen golf simulators and a 1,500 square foot putting green. In a recent statement, the company said the Twin Cities is actually underserved for golf retail. Today, an emotional reunion in Richfield that included a Crystal soldier.
Eric Harder met up with fellow soldiers 7 years after they survived an attack on their unit in Afghanistan. 8 of their comrades died in that attack. Eric Nelson has more on their emotional reunion.
Like what they went through in that 12-hour battle. I don't know how they get out of bed in the morning.
They are the ultimate survivors. Soldiers who lived through a Taliban attack in a remote Afghan outpost.
We lost 8 guys, but could have been way worse than that.
Today, the survivors of combat outpost Keating,
this dude had like size 11 influence,
came from all across the U.S. to be reunited in the Twin Cities.
You meet up and you start right where you left off.
We all lost a lot of contact.
This foxhole reunion was orchestrated by Crystal's Mary Henry, whose son Eric was part of that vicious firefight in Afghanistan.
It was a pretty crappy day, and to get everyone here, I mean, to make some new memories that don't suck as bad, and you know, a lot of guys will vent this weekend.
Henry raised $25,000 so the soldiers could have an upbeat experience.
I think this is probably the best therapy that money could buy right now. Better than any prescription drug or sitting in front of a therapist.
For the Keating group, there is an airtight bond based on the common ground they share.
We can talk trash with the best of them.
It's an experience that is impossible to relay to the average civilian.
It can't be done. I mean, there's no way to do it. So, and I'd rather not. I mean, there's no reason to do it.
For Henry, the reunion is a chance to give thanks that Eric is around to be part of it.
That he's okay. And he's okay mentally, he's okay physically.
In Richfield, I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
One of the soldiers wrote a book about the experience called Red Platoon. Eric Harder and the Keating Outpost survivors will make their way now to Breezy Point Resort this weekend as part of their long-awaited reunion. Coming up, a Brooklyn Park backyard that turned into a piece of gardening paradise.
And then a little bit later in sports, section lacrosse titles are on the line for local teams. We'll show you who is moving on to the state tournament.
But first, getting really hot. With the rising dew points, Friday could feel like 100 degrees.
Another night slowly closes in.
Well, have your cell phone lighter app ready. You will need it tonight, Thursday evening, when Cheap Trick performs their 1988 #1 hit, The Flame. And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees will take the stage in just a few hours at the Hilde over in Plymouth.
It is the latest big-name act to take the stage there as part of the Live at the Hilde concert series.
1, 1, 2, check, test.
A sound check and other pre-concert preparations were underway this afternoon. This is the third summer for the Live at the Hilde concert series, which has brought in the Gear Daddies and Big Head Todd and the Monsters in previous years. They're hoping a Cheap Trick show draws at least 2,500 fans tonight as a concert promoter tries to spread the word through the metro.
We are working very hard as a promoter to get that the message and the reach out here and really help the city of Plymouth showcase this venue. It's a gem, it's a hidden gem.
$47 general admission tickets are available at the gate tonight for the 7 o'clock performance. A garden can be a place of peace and tranquility.
And that is especially true in the case of the Kessler Retirement Garden in Brooklyn Park. Delane Cleveland takes us in the garden to show off a garden with a little bit of everything.
Over the span of 25 years, Pam and Dale Kessler have transformed their sprawling backyard into a private oasis.
We like the space, we like the privacy, and it is like our own little Eden.
The yard has a little of everything, from fruits to vegetables to trees.
There's actually 73 different kinds of trees on the property, so they're all over the place.
The garden also has several fountains, complete with ponds stocked with goldfish.
They do just fine out here. We've never lost one over the winter.
All told, the garden is divided into 11 different sections.
We've got vegetables. We've got a shade garden that has wildflowers.
From a psychological standpoint, it helps the Kesslers keep up with the maintenance on their property.
I think one of the things is that we can still do it at our age. I mean, I think that's an accomplishment.
Another accomplishment of having a massive garden with a plethora of fruits and veggies is that it offers ample opportunity to live off the land.
If people stop in for lunch unexpectedly, you can, harvest a salad and make it look neat with herbs and grab a jar off the shelf of tomatoes.
Pam says she spends about 3 hours a day tending to the Kessler Retirement Garden, as she's named it. But it's a labor of love for the place that offers her and her husband a place of peace and tranquility.
It's a retreat. It's like an oasis. When you go into the city or, to your job or whatever, you want to come home. You want to be here. We don't plan vacations. We plan to spend time here.
In Brooklyn Park, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
3 years ago, the Kesslers were awarded Brooklyn Park's Summer Blooms Award for their outstanding garden. Just go in the backyard for a vacation. That's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Coming up, near perfect timing for those seeking relief from the heat.
But first, it takes 2 games to decide the Section 5 baseball title as Champlin Park battles Totino-Grace. John Jacobson has the highlights coming up next. It is a trip to state, but they get there the hard way.
Champlin Park, yeah, not the path maybe they would have chosen, but they get there in the end. That's what matters. The Champlin Park baseball team survived a close one in the losers bracket of the Section 5 4A tournament Monday, scoring 3 in the 7th inning to beat Centennial. The Rebels needed to sweep 2 from Totino-Grace in the section final. In Game 1, Hunter Yerkes lines a hit to right center field. It scores Zach Logan as the Rebels take a 2-1 lead in the 2nd inning. Champlin Park dominates this one. Aaron Kleppner's liner up the middle scores Yerkes for a 5-1 lead. Rebels cruise to a 9-1 win in the opening game. And that forces a second game for the title, and the fans are ready. Tied with 1-1 in the bottom of the 3rd until Grace's Jens Radicek flies to right. Jacob Zerbe scores on the sacrifice fly, and it's 2-1 Eagles. Stays that way until the 6th. Jeff Waylage's fly ball carries over to center fielder. Riley Johnson scores to tie it 2-2 before Eric Pearson is tagged out by catcher Radicek. Next batter, Derek Smith, drills one just fair down the left field line to score Waylage. Champlin Park is fired up. They go in front 3-2. Reliever Drew Nelson is superb, pitching the last 4 1/3 innings, striking out Radicek to seal the win. Champlin Park will make its 3rd appearance in the state tournament after a 4-2 win over Totino-Grace. They'll find out on Saturday their quarterfinal round opponent in the state tournament. The state softball tournament is underway in southern Minnesota. Hopkins defeated Spring Lake Park 4-3 in the Class 4A quarterfinals Thursday morning. Natalie Den Hartog went 3 for 4 with an RBI and 2 runs scored, and pitcher Allie Reese went the distance for the win. In Class 3A, Benilde St. Margaret's in their first state tournament appearance edged Matamidi 6-5. Lily Johnson fanned 10 to pick up the win. The semifinals are going on at this taping of 12 News, and the tournament wraps up Friday at Caswell Park in North Mankato. Section lacrosse championships were on the line Wednesday night for a handful of local schools. Maple Grove battling Osseo-Park Center for the Section 8 girls title. Maple Grove freshman Emily Herdeen powering through the defense and nets that goal, making it 6-1 Crimson. Claire McLean with a fast attack run rifles a shot in for a goal for MG. Less than 5 seconds to go in the first half. Kaufman fights off the defenders, sets up McLean for another marker. Crimson lead at 8-1 at halftime. Second half, Haley Herdeen scores on the quick shot in front, and Maple Grove wins 14-4 for its 2nd section title in 3 years. Also was Wayzata meeting St. Michael Albertville in the Section 8 boys final. First quarter, Ryan Copeland scoring as he's knocked down. That ties it at 3-3 for STMA. Trojans dominate though from there. Brenton Reddick scores here. And then Amar Bontra will come out from behind the net and score for a 9-3 Wayzata lead. Bontra gets another hard-fought goal here as Wayzata outscores STMA 7-0 in the second quarter, and they lead at 10-3 at halftime. That lead grows to 15-3 in the fourth quarter. Alex Golke scoring, and after an up-and-down regular season, the Trojans are section champions with a 15-3 win. Also in Section 5, Blake beat Benilde St. Margaret's in both the boys and girls finals to advance on to state. In boys tennis, Breck took aim at the state Class A title. The Mustangs face St. Paul Academy in the title match. Number 1 singles, it's Lewis White of Breck in the far court against Noah Keogh. White with a strong forehand to the corner, setting up that backhand winner. And he wins in straight sets, 6-love, 6-1. Second singles, Catholic Parpasetti of Breck in the near court. His hit not returned. Parpasetti wins his match, 6-love, 6-love. Third singles, Sam Fernandez of Breck playing SPA's Benjamin Constant. Fernandez setting up the overhead shot here for a point, and he wins 6-love, 6-1. And the Mustangs win at fourth singles as well. Freshman Charlie Press, a good rally here. Press delivering a deep winner here in the corner. He wins 6-love, 6-3. And doubles play also went well for the Mustangs. Matthew Metz the serve, Austin Wong the drop shot at the net for a point. Breck beats SPA 7-0 for the school's 7th championship in boys tennis. Beating Blake in the section final helped key the Mustangs state championship run.
We wanted to really focus on not being too overconfident because we knew that we had beaten one of the better teams in the state, but we really just had to focus and get business done.
I knew that we couldn't take anything for granted, and we had to fight our hardest in each match and play to win and not play to not lose. But it just felt great to beat Blake.
Congratulations to Breck. State track and field gets underway Friday morning in St. Paul.
All kind of athletes all fighting.
Yeah, right. Yeah, a lot of celebrating.
Thanks, John. Up next, something to help families cool off.
But first, the hunt is still on in Brooklyn Park for the Golden Spud. As we go to break, here is a look at clue number 2. Finally, now that a heat wave has arrived, the opening of local pools can't come soon enough.
And talk about timing. The Crystal Cove Aquatic Center opens to the public on Saturday. The water pool has a 0-depth pool, 2 water slides, and a lap pool. New Hope's outdoor pool also opens this weekend, and it's perfect timing. Temperatures will likely be in the 90s both Saturday and Sunday.
So I love the Crystal Pool when I was a kid. I used to go there all the time.
Facility. Yeah. That's right.
It looks cool. Stay cool if you can over the next couple of days. If your AC is working, we hope it is. Right?
Good way to do it. That's all for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we will see you back here again Friday starting at 4.